A natural inorganic solid with definite chemical composition and structure. Mineral. Minerals are the building blocks of rocks and are made up of specific combinations of elements. Imagine trying to find the perfect piece to complete a jigsaw puzzle, where each piece has a unique shape, color, and pattern. This search is similar to how minerals are defined by their unique and specific characteristics, such as a definite chemical composition and crystal structure. Just as each puzzle piece fits only one specific place in the puzzle, each mineral is a distinct piece of the Earth's geological puzzle, defined by its precise chemical formula and orderly structure. A natural solid made of a mixture of minerals. Rock. Rock is a solid material composed of minerals that forms the Earth's crust. Imagine you're trying to make a delicious fruit salad, but you're faced with the challenge of mixing different fruits that have distinct flavors and textures. Just like a fruit salad, a rock is a natural solid made up of a mixture of different minerals, each contributing its unique properties to the whole. In this analogy, the different fruits in your salad represent the various minerals, each bringing its own characteristics to create a diverse and cohesive mixture, just as minerals do in forming a rock. A rock formed when melted rock cools and hardens. Igneous rock. In simple terms, igneous rock is created when hot, liquid rock from inside the earth cools down and becomes solid. Imagine trying to make a perfect batch of homemade chocolate by melting it down and letting it cool into solid bars. This process is quite similar to how igneous rocks are formed, as both involve a material transitioning from a liquid to a solid state. Just like melted chocolate, which once cooled and hardened becomes a solid bar, melted rock, or magma, cools and hardens into solid igneous rock, with both processes requiring the right conditions to achieve the desired final form. A rock that forms when sediment is pressed and cemented together. Sedimentary rock is a type of rock made from small particles or fragments that have hardened over time. Imagine you're trying to clean out your cluttered closet, where over the years, clothes, shoes, and boxes have piled up, layer upon layer. This is similar to how sedimentary rocks form, as layers of sediment like mud, sand, and small stones accumulate over time. Just as you might press down and organize these items to fit them neatly into your closet, nature presses and cements these sediment layers together over millions of years, creating sedimentary rock. The rock that forms when existing rock is changed by heat, pressure, or chemicals. Metamorphic rock is rock that has been transformed from another type of rock due to heat and pressure. Imagine trying to transform a messy, cluttered room into a tidy, organized space. Just like how you reorganize and redecorate the room by rearranging furniture, adding new decor, or applying a fresh coat of paint, metamorphic rock forms when an existing rock undergoes transformation due to heat, pressure, or chemical processes. In this analogy, the existing rock is like the cluttered room. The heat and pressure are the rearranging and redecorating efforts, and the resulting metamorphic rock is the newly organized and refreshed room. A process that changes a rock from one form to another rock cycle. The rock cycle is the ongoing transformation of rocks through stages like melting, cooling, eroding, and compacting. Imagine trying to declutter your closet, but every time you reorganize, you find items that can transform into something new, like a shirt becoming a cleaning rag or a jeans pocket turning into a patchwork quilt. Just like your closet constantly changes and evolves with each reorganization, rocks undergo transformations through the rock cycle, morphing from one type to another over time. In this analogy, your closet represents the Earth's crust, the clothes are the rocks, and the process of decluttering and repurposing reflects weathering, melting, and pressure that convert rocks from igneous to sedimentary to metamorphic forms and back again. The way a mineral's surface reflects light. Luster. Luster is how shiny or dull a mineral appears when light reflects off its surface. Imagine you're trying to choose the perfect lampshade for your living room, but every option seems to change the ambiance of the room differently. This situation is similar to how a mineral's surface reflects light, affecting the way we perceive its appearance. Just as the texture and material of the lampshade influence how light spreads across the room, creating either a cozy or stark atmosphere, the luster of a mineral determines how light interacts with its surface, giving it a unique shine or glow. The preserved traces and remains of an organism that lived long ago. Fossil. A fossil is the hardened remains or imprint of plants or animals from the distant past, preserved in rock. Imagine walking into an old, dusty room and finding your grandmother's favorite chair with an indentation where she always sat. This chair is like a snapshot of the past, capturing a trace of her presence, much like how fossils are the preserved traces of organisms that lived long ago. Just as the indentation in the chair tells a story about your grandmother's habits and presence, fossils reveal the existence and behavior of ancient life, preserving a moment in time for us to study and understand. Mold, a rock fossil created when a buried organism dissolves. Mold. Mold is a hollow space in the shape of a once living thing. Imagine losing your keys in a snowstorm and only finding their shape outlined in the snow after they melt away. This is similar to how a rock fossil mold is formed when an organism buried in sediment dissolves, leaving behind an impression. Just like the keys leave an imprint in the snow, the dissolved organism leaves a mold in the rock, capturing its shape even though the original object is gone. A fossil formed when dissolved minerals fill a mold and harden. Cast. A cast is a replica of the shape of an organism created by minerals. Imagine you're trying to bake a cake, but you run out of batter and only have a cake mold. You decide to use a different ingredient, like gelatin, to fill the mold and create a dessert in the shape of a cake. Similarly, a fossil cast is formed when minerals fill up the space of a mold left by an organism that once existed, much like how the gelatin fills up the cake mold. In both cases, the original shape, the cake or organism, is replaced by a new substance, gelatin or minerals, resulting in a replica of the original form.